boys didn't have the kind of class that I was used to working with. The 9 women sitting around the table with me cheered as the stripper danced all over me. "So you're getting married?" he asked, with his face so close to mine that I could almost smell his mother's milk still on his breath. How old was this guy? I mean, he'd looked young on the stage, but up close and personal, he looked like he had just learned to brush his teeth. I pushed back in the chair, kind of surprised at the way he was coming at me. This was another thing that we didn't do at Foxtails. No touching. Except when you were invited into the red-curtained VIP room, of course. "Let me give you something to remember me by," the kid said. Kyla's friends, 'cause really, these women sitting here at this table, that's who they were. Not one of these women could say that they really liked me. All howled as the stripper leaned back as if he was about to go under a limbo pole and made his pecs jump and his thighs quiver to the beat of the music. The women applauded, and I couldn't help it. I yawned. I didn't even try to hide it. I just opened my mouth and let my lips stretch wide. And I got all into that yawn, too. I moaned and groaned, releasing all of my boredom. His look of hurt was instant, and right away I felt bad. But it wasn't my fault. I mean, how are you going to bring a stripper to a strip club and expect her to be entertained? Now, granted, Kyla didn't know that I was a stripper. No one knew that. But still, she knew who I was. She knew that I wouldn't be impressed by a bunch of naked men. Please. Before she and I had graduated from high school, I'd already seen, and had, my share. But the poor boy had really been trying to impress me. And once my yawn came out, it was all over for him. I guess it was different for guys than it was for us girls. When I was stripping, there were many times when I would dance onto that stage, and some of the men wouldn't even look at me. They were either talking to their buddies or focusing on the girls who were working the floor. That's when I came up with my booty quake. I'd done it my very first time on the stage. But once I saw how those dudes tossed 20s at me when I did that, I became the booty quake specialist. That move became my signature. And men from all over Southern California came to see me quiver my butt like I was part of the San Andreas Fault. After a couple of months, whenever I came out, the club went silent except for the music and the catcalls. The talking, I shut it all down. Every man in that club, and the few women who were there, paid attention when I, Pepper Pulaski, strutted onto the stage. So this young man, if he was going to last, was going to have to grow some skin that was thicker than what he had. What he needed to do was suck it up and find a way to come up with something that could catch even my attention. But for right now, this boy couldn't do a thing for me, because I was, after all, Jasmine Cox. And you had to bring it far better than that to impress me. I didn't want him to walk away feeling too bad, though. So when he looked at me like he was about to cry, I smiled, and then started praying for his song and dance to come to an end. "Let's hear it for RoboCop!" Throughout the club, the women cheered, as if Robo was part of the delegation for the second coming. I still felt bad as the young man gathered the bills that had fallen from his G-string and then trotted off the stage as if he was in a hurry. I wondered if he was rushing off to finish his homework backstage. But whatever. At least this night was finally over. I was sure that was the last set. I'd sat through 12 dancers, and not a one of them could have stood next to me on the stage, at least not when it came to stripping. I had turned my college occupation into an art form. I had researched, studied, and rehearsed until I became the best in the business.